Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. I'm gonna show you what trade I'm in, what's the preparation for next week, what happened last week, and hopefully you can learn some tips and tricks. There is no really tricks in trading. You can learn something which gonna help you as a struggling trader. If you are a struggling trader, then I would suggest you to watch till the end of the video. If you cannot watch until the end of the video, you have a 5 seconds attention span, then please turn off this video and move on, because you're never gonna be successful in trading ever if you cannot just learn something by watching long format content. At least watch it. You don't even have to take notes, just watch it. I was where you are probably 2 years ago. So without further ado, let's hop on my screen. I'm gonna show you what trades I'm prepared for next week and why I entered the trade I'm currently in and why I'm holding it over the next week. And after that, I'm just gonna go for a nice swim in the Philippines because it's absolutely beautiful, as you saw in the beginning. So I'm gonna put you here on my desk, kind of a desk, because I don't have a desk yet, you know. I still have kind of a thing. Look, this is the thing, this is my working space. Like, there's nothing yet, because I don't even have a table. I have nothing in this room slash studio, I guess you can call it, because it's a very small, big room. So I can call it studio. And I'm much more comfortable here than where I was before. I don't know if you remember the place before. I didn't really like it. It felt very stuffy, very like in a cave. Anyway, let's hop on my screen and I'm gonna show you what is going on. Unstructured, unedited, no flashy transitions, no cuts. I'm just gonna be talking. So you're gonna hear my pauses, you're gonna hear my thinking. You know, a lot of YouTube creators, they cut their pauses, the you know, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna be talking as I'm talking to my friend, as to you, my brother, my sister, whoever you are on the end of the screen, on the other side of the screen. So anyway, I'm talking too much. Let's get on my screen. So this is the AUD CAD I am since last week, and look at this fucking trade, man. Girl, whatever, look. Just look at this. Oh my God. Okay, so I entered this trade on Tuesday, 27th of May, last week. Look what this trade did for the entire week. Absolutely fucking nothing. And look what it did on Friday. Friday we start moving. On Friday. The whole week, nothing. I mean, look at this. Let me delete this one, right? So I enter, right? On Wednesday, I was 1.2 in profit. Came back. Now, if I set my stop loss to break even position, the trade, it will basically over, right? So this is why I'm not setting my trades to my stop losses. I'm not moving my stop losses to break even, because look what happens. I will get stopped out once. Let me get this arrow again so you can see it. I will get stopped out once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 10 times in the entire week. I will enter, get out, enter, probably after first or second stopped out, I will just not get back in. You know, I will just let it be and move on to something else. So this is why you don't want to set stop losses to break even. I just don't do that unless I'll be like 1 to 1.5, which I'm currently 1 to 1.7. You can see 1.1.76. I didn't want to set my stop loss to break even because it was a Friday, and I know on Monday, sometimes the spreads when the markets open, it's just shoot up like 30 pips, 40 pips, even though this is like, what is this, is 70 pips. Even I saw like 60 pips, the price just moved and it just came back. So I didn't want to do that just in case that's going to happen. So I still have my stop loss set to original place, but I think next week I will see how the market's going to be moving. I think I'm going to be moving my stop loss to break even like this. Why? Because if the prices already came all the way this low, you know, break these lows, And if you look at the daily, it broke these lows, these lows. If the price come back again to my entry price, I know it's probably not gonna work out. It probably will just turn around and just keep going. So I'm gonna set my stop loss to break even, and I'm gonna be holding, and I'm gonna be holding potentially all the way. I'm gonna show you here to this target, potential target. Why? Because let me get this straight. This is the previous sort of like a support. So this is the last price. I mean, you can also do this one. You can also do this one. You could also do this one. But I think the price is gonna break through this one, and we're gonna, once we break this one, the last one, I think we're just gonna keep dumping heavily down. That's what I think is gonna happen. It's gonna happen, I don't know, we will see. But I'm gonna show you now why I entered this position, okay? So you can actually learn something from this video. Let me go, oh actually I'm on daily already. Let me go on weekly, because that's better. So on a weekly, we have been on resistance. I saw 1, 2 rejection candlestick. If you go on daily, you can see this even more clear. You know, this was a support, and then we broke the support, and then we have support again, support. We broke the support, a rejection here. And then once I saw the price on the daily broke below this low, you know, this engulfing candlestick on the daily, came back. I was just waiting for my entry signal. Where, when, and how, and why. If you look at the 4 hour, this was a clear downtrend on a 4 hour. If you wanna draw like this, you know, it doesn't really matter. But basically, what I was waiting for, I could actually, or I wanted to enter the position before, and I wanted to enter the position here. So I was supposed to actually enter something like here. But I didn't, because I was in different position last week, or the week before, so I didn't enter the position. But why I entered here, I'm gonna show you. Let me rewind back why I entered this position. You can see we're going up on the 1 hour, and then we broke the previous low, engulfed the previous lows. We came back, made an engulfing on the 1 hour again, and once we came back, retest this candlestick, I entered the position. That's pretty much it. It's basically like a break and retest. I know if you've been watching a lot of ICT, manipulation candlesticks, bank order flow, crazy names, I don't know. It's all bullshit. I don't know. It's ICT is basically naming the things like support, resistance, just called different. I don't even know what the ICT, I don't even watch ICT. It's just trade support, resistance, wait for shift of structure, enter the trade. It's so fucking simple, man. I see people like doing this stuff with order block, liquidation, manipulation, bank manipulation, like all these fancy words. Just do support and resistance, brother. That's all you need, man. Anyway, so yeah, this is why I entered the trade. Let me get this back. I'm gonna put this back to this area. So this was the trade. I'm still since last week. Next one we have Euro AUD. Euro AUD, what I'm waiting for the next week. I'm not gonna be entering this trade, by the way, unless I'm done with my trade AUD CAD. It's gonna stop me out, either break even or my stop loss, or it's gonna go to my target profit. So if my position gonna keep going to target profit, I am not going to enter new position. So, but if it's gonna go, pardon me, to my target profit, and I'm gonna close the position, and depends where this position is gonna be, I'm gonna enter a new position. But what I'm waiting for, this is Euro AUD. You can see that on the weekly we are very bullish. Even I don't really like this how this chart is, because even on the monthly, let's go on the monthly here, you can see this is the close to the highest it ever been. So you know, this is in 2020, and look what it did in 2020. Even that this is very far, the price action to judge it. But usually what price does when this happens, you can see even here, it was all the time high all the time high here, a crash, all the time here, a crash, and now I think we are almost all the time high for the past few years. I potentially think it's gonna crash again. But for now, if I look at the daily is pretty much still very bullish. You know, we've been bullish since here. If you look at this one, lower high, higher high. So we are still in bullish. What's happened in this structure doesn't really much matter. But for me, what's matter that the price turned bullish in the bullish scenario, right? So we had a downtrend. We kept going down, and then we broke this, right? Boom, boom, boom. So now what I'm expecting the price to do is come to the support and continue up. So what I think is gonna happen in the long run, that the price is gonna keep going up and up and up, get to this position, get to this price, and we're gonna crash down. So potentially it's gonna happen very soon. But for now, what I'm looking at for the short term, mid term, is for the price to come on this 4-hour support, come deeper into the zone, and I'm gonna buy. USD CAD, this is like a few weeks ago. I don't know if you remember this trade. If you're new on this channel, you probably don't know. But if you've been watching my videos, look, I traded this one 1.1 to 2.26, and look what I could have if I just hold it. And I didn't know, but I had the feeling it's gonna go there. We 128. I'm past my challenge already. But you know, should I, could I, did I didn't, so never mind. But looks like we're getting new opportunity for new position to enter. This is very, very strong weekly resistance. Look at this crazy engulfing weekly candlesticks. This is what you wanna looking for. If you wanna look at for more certain trades, look for things like this: strong engulfing weekly or daily, bullish or bearish. This is such a strong indication that the bears are in power. This is what you wanna looking for. On the daily, again, you can see this one. We had a strong bullish engulfing on the daily. We came back, retest the structure again, retest the resistance again, and we bounced from there. And I actually entered this trade last week, and I got stopped out. You can see just by a few pips. This was, look at this, 14 pips. So it happens. Anyway, and then it went into my direction. So we had a strong engulfing on the 4-hour again, came to retest, bounce. But you can see every time the price wants to go into your direction, there is always strong engulfing candlestick. The strong engulfing candlestick are so powerful. It works out almost every time. Now, what I'm waiting for in this one is to come back to this area to then sell. If you look at the 1 hour, we go 1 hour here. I draw this mini support on the 1 hour. It will also match up with this 50-day moving averages on 1 hour. So the position will look like something like this. Let me put this here, above the previous high, target profit much lower, but for now I'm gonna leave it like that. I can see the price going all the way down here. So that's USD CAD for you. NZD JPY, I honestly not too sure, because when JPY's pairs going, they usually go in the same direction. You just have to catch them in different location basically. You know, one JPY pair is bearish, other one is bullish. That's giving me indication that the market is just uncertain what's actually happening there, because this is an NZD JPY, which looks like, let me go on a weekly, is bullish, because you can see here it broke the previous high, came to retest, now look like we're gonna continue up, right? That's weekly. Daily, you can see we broke the previous high with this one, with this engulfing candlestick, so it looks like we're gonna continue up. But then when you look at the, is it AUD JPY? Which is NZD JPY, AUD JPY is almost the same, right? AUD JPY is bearish, same as AUD CAD. It looks very similar, right? This is the resistance on weekly. Daily is resistance as well. We broke the previous lows, making this chart bearish. Looks like we come to retest. There's a strong pin bar on the daily. So now it looks like we're just gonna go bearish. We're gonna go down. But is this gonna happen? I don't know. I don't know who to choose. AUD GPY or NZD JPY. So we'll see who's gonna give me confirmation signal or entry signal, and we're gonna enter there. NZD USD. I kind of like this because weekly we just turned bullish again. On a daily we are still bearish, but on a 4 hour we turn bullish very, very heavily. But it's kind of consolidating, you know, in this box, you can say. You know, this is like the box, you will do something like this. So it's kind of doing nothing. So we'll see if I enter or not. Euro USD, I like this much more clear. If you look at it daily, you can see this inverted head and shoulders, you know, it's a left shoulder, head, right shoulder creating. So I think we're gonna bounce from here and we're gonna continue up, uppity up. And then I have a second great trades, which I am sort of interested and I'm not interested. It really depends how it's gonna go, because GBP NZD is still very bearish, daily is still very bearish, and 4 hour is currently bullish, actually bearish. But look what it did. This consolidation, up, down, up, down, up, down. So the market is very undecisive, and I don't like to enter this kind of markets unless we have a clear direction, because this is where you're gonna get wrecked and this is gonna get fucked, and you're just gonna keep entering the new trades and then keep getting wrecked. So I will see how that goes. Euro GBP, this I was waiting for since weeks. I mean, look at this. I tried, let me go on a daily. I tried to long it here, I tried to long it here, because this is a very, very strong weekly support, weekly and daily, you can see the whole time. So now it looks like it's finally going in the direction which is supposed to go. If you look at a 4 hour, we are beautifully bullish. So what I'm waiting for is for the price to just come back to this alarm I have set and continue up. AUD JPY. Okay, let me show this. Basically same thing as AUD CAD. Waiting for this to short, but since I'm already in AUD CAD, I don't want to enter another AUD pair since I'm already in one. So why would I do that? But for now, my number one pair is AUD CAD, which I keep holding, and then my second pair, actually, pardon me, is USD CAD. If this price, let me zoom in. If this price come back to this area, I am definitely shorting this market.